Welcome to another episode of Regional Chain Cuisine. My name is Caterina Borsato, and on this program, as Easter is upon us, we're going to be featuring chocolate. Chocolat, chocolate, whatever you like. It's around the world, known in many guises. Of course, we're here at William Angliss, which has been a training college here in Melbourne since 1940. So we have some very, very expert teachers here that will be taking us through the paces of chocolate. And chocolate, when I think about chocolate, I think about Florentines, chocolate chip cookies, I think about sucker torte, forest cake, all that sort of stuff. So it's been with us for many, many years with loads of history. And when we meet the head of patisserie here at William Angliss, she's going to be talking to us about the history, the little stories, the things that have brought chocolate to our tables. A lot of viewers, I would like to welcome the lovely Angie
Simicles.
She wanted me to say that. I said, you can do that. Now, Andrew, welcome. Now, you are head here of patisserie, correct?
That's correct, Caterina. I'm a senior educator at William Angliss Institute, and my specialty is patisserie.
You're a bit like a scientist for me, because chocolate is about science, isn't it?
It is a bit. Cooking's changing, and now we delve more into what's going on behind the scenes and not just the product and how we create those products.
Absolutely.
So today...
And on that note, because I know you've been kind enough to show our viewers the process, really, of how we get chocolate to the tables, let's tell our viewers a little bit about chocolate history, because it's been around for about 3 millennia, hasn't it?
It has. It's come through the Dark Ages, it's come through overseas. Chocolate these days is international. It's not really regional.
No.
There is chocolates that are regional, but it's grown all over the world and people eat it all over the world.
And I guess back in the early days we talk about the Aztecs and the Mayas.
That's correct. That's where it started off. And with chocolate itself, it doesn't come what we know as today, as these lovely buds and things like this. It actually started off like a pod and a piece of fruit, which is, again, coming from the Maya, from the Aztecs.
And the name of the tree is the Theobroma?
That's correct.
Cacao.
That's right. And that's grown, again, mainly across the equator.
Yes.
And ideally chocolate, when it was harvested, it started off as a pod, which, if you can hear, there's about 60, 70 little nibs inside there.
And these pods, by the way, we must tell our viewers, grow on actually the trunk of the tree.
That's
They get all the beautiful white flowers, and they're actually pollinated by the midge, I think, which is a particular type of insect. You end up with these pods which grow in real life to about the size of a football.
That's correct. And again, the pods come out, and ideally a cacao that's grown with banana plantations.
Yes.
And again, it's in the Ecuador region where we need a lot of high humidity. It is tropical. You can't grow this down in Victoria yet, but
Well, that's the dried version of it too, isn't it? It's already shrunk.
That's correct.
So what happens? They're normally hand harvested, is that correct?
They are. They're picked and they're actually dried between banana leaves, or they're left there to ferment. And in the fermentation process, it varies depending on what kind of fermentation you would like, whether it's a strong fermentation or a lesser fermentation. And that's, again, down to the brand of chocolate you're going to consume.
And all these little pods are inside, encased in these pods, and you get, what, 20 to 50? Like, you don't really know, do you?
Much more. Yeah. And they ferment them, then they dry them off. So then you get a product like this. It's nice and hard, and then it goes through a process of being crushed or being made into a cocoa mass.
And roasted? Does it get roasted?
It does actually. You're correct. You've done your research.
I have done my research. I know. As I said, this is a bit of a science for me. But it's important for people to understand that when they're eating chocolate, exactly the process that it's come through.
That's correct. And so once it's roasted and it gets crushed down, we usually get two products. We get cocoa butter, which is extracted from the cocoa mass or the cocoa paste, and we also get cocoa powder.
Right.
And they're the two lines coming from this.
And that's a byproduct, as you were telling me, isn't it?
That's right.
Cocoa powder. It never attracts the same money as cocoa butter.
That's right.
And I guess the better the chocolate, the greater the percentage of cocoa butter. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And we're seeing that now in supermarkets, because years ago you never saw, 70% or 60%.
No, and people are becoming much smarter in knowing what chocolate is about.
Yes.
And they look at the back and it's at 60%. The higher in cacao mass, the bitter the chocolate is, and you need more sugar. I have tried chocolate at 100%.
Yes.
And it's so bitter, your cheeks go in. You just don't want to eat.
Because it's extremely bitter, isn't it?
That's right. You must have that little bit of sugar, and that's what's added to chocolate, again, to create that sweetness.
Right. And Andrew, did you know that this is actually not, although this is a fruit, but do you know that chocolate is actually considered a vegetable?
No, I didn't.
Yes, it is. Well, there you go.
You're a wealth of knowledge.
Now, I want to ask you a question before we carry on with our lovely story. For our viewers at home, how easy is it to use chocolate at home?
It's so easy, and again, you can get around with your family, you can get around with your neighbours, and as you mentioned earlier, chocolate can be actually celebrated at Easter or Christmas time. We do a lot of things with chocolate for celebrations, and ideally going through the process of chocolate, all you need is a saucepan,
Yes.
a nice bowl,
Yes.
a dry bowl,
Yes.
put the chocolate in and straight away onto a bain-marie. And so
Right.
you allow a very slow steam or heat coming up through the chocolate. You don't want to overheat the chocolate or it could burn.
That's
And
right.
this will slow-
I've done that at home.
Have you?
Where I was making that rocky road, and I didn't do it on a bain-marie, and it actually went hard and brittle,
Oh,
which
my
means, what did
That
I
means
do wrong?
You've actually overcooked it.
I actually overcooked it.
And again, when you put your bowl onto a bain-marie,
Yes.
you want to make sure that the flame or the heat is not coming around the actual saucepan.
Right.
Because if that bowl heats up too much, chocolate starts melting at blood temperature. So
Really? Which is?
What is 37 degrees?
Yes, it is. Oh,
Yes.
for crying out loud.
There we go. So you put chocolate in the palm of your hand, it's going to start melting.
Right.
And on
It's a
your tongue,
science.
but ideally on your tongue, it's even better.
Ah, well, there you go. Well, on that note, when we come back from the break, we're going to go into the kitchen with Andrew, and she's going to take us through some of the things that the wonderful students do here at William Angliss. There's some very clever people. You can see some of the skill behind us, and you've got to work quickly with chocolate. And as I keep saying, it is a science, so it's very easy to stuff up.